Toonami will literally cancel an entire block just to put like a movie on there.
Yep.
So they can do that for like Ruby. Or when they do like that whole, oh, we did the first 12 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, now like we're gonna have the first 12 episodes just take up an entire night, and then you get mad because it got rid of something that you were waiting for. I'll never forget the craziness that started when One Punch Man ended and JoJo took over its time slot, and literally Twitter was nothing but people like, what the fuck is this JoJo shit? I want more One Punch Man. And I was just like, these are people who don't get how the industry works. They think that fucking Toonami made it. I mean, given that's how a lot of us thought it was for a while, that Toonami did make that stuff, and when it really does come down to it, they made like 2 things.
That's true.
Yeah, and then they greenlit season 2 for Big O.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I found out about that I found out about the show in general from you.
Big O?
Yeah, and then I found out in like a Nostalgia Critic video about Toonami, which Big O was surprisingly the only Toonami show that Doug Walker watched, the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, originally they wanted it to be 24 episodes, but, you know, they only got 12, and then Toonami, you know, loved it so much that they gave it another 12. So we were able to get the story, but again, from what you told me, the story gets really weird.
Yes.
Yeah, you're telling me about stage production? I'm like, okay. One day, because I'm very curious, one day. And it's a Steve Bloom anime.
Oh yeah. No, dude. Dude, that show's childhood for me. Just listening back to it, I'm like, I'm pretty much like that one. I'm pretty much like the, what was it? What was that one show where like there was this girl that kept shit? Oh, from My Mental Choices.
Oh.
I'm like those girls whenever I hear Steve Bloom's voice, I'm like, yeah.
God damn it, that show. I can never escape that show. No, I'm joking. I don't want to escape that show. I'm mad that we never got any form of season 2, and that the manga or the light novel never got translated. But
I know.
But apparently My Best Girl one, which I had no idea, which I wouldn't have guessed in 1,000 years. Chocolate apparently won, and I'm like, really? You guys are selling Ferrano pretty hard,
right?
I think it was one of those cases where it's like that guy actually knew how to do it. It's like, yeah, I made this chick look super obvious, but now I'm gonna flip it, and because like with Nisekoi, there was never a doubt in my mind that it wasn't gonna be Chitoge. Everyone's like, no man, it's gonna be Onodera, he's super in love with her, and I'm like, you guys really don't get it, do you?
Dude, dude, I also sad too, man, because I remember when that happened. What was it? Somebody made a meme about it as well, where like he was having a dream and everything, where he ended up with Onodera.
Yeah.
And then like wakes up and then it just pans out, like it just shows him on the train with Chitoge instead.
Oh.
But it was a meme by somebody made.
Okay, yeah, because they've had those, you know, they had, I think the episode, like they were little vignettes in, so they were little vignettes in the manga where they were like a strip, but they had like an entire episode. It was one of the OVAs where it was just like a point of view of like, what if he was married to all of them?
Yeah.
And it was, and that was like one of the mangas I read was if he was married to Onodera, so I can just imagine that someone took that and then made an ending and just made it darker.
Yeah.
Because the whole point was that he got over Onodera even to the point where she was the girl with the locket.
Yeah. Dude, that shit was like, dude, it was funny, man, because I think the one that the one scene that makes me laugh to this day is Raku's and Tsugumi's dream.
Yeah.
When they were dreaming.
Yeah, that one was funny. One that I thought the one that I thought was like the weirdest one was Chitoge's.
Oh.
It was like a dog for no reason.
Yeah.
and that was another thing. I think it was Onodera's what Shitoge was like the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. But yeah, Segumi's was good. Takibana's was really funny because it was like they just had 1,000 kids that just looked like them.
But damn, it's because she just multiplied like rabbits.
Right. Well, I mean, given the kind of person Takibana
Exactly.
that would literally just be it for them. But yeah, man, I miss that show. Even though I know that I gave up on the manga because I'm like, fuck, there's a whole lot of nothing in between like story bits here. Some of it's there to develop the characters, but then you kind of get like things that start to repeat themselves. But with different girls, like Segumi had a secret admirer, and then she turned him away because she loved Raku. And now this girl had a secret admirer, but she turned him away because she loved Raku.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I see where this is going. I mean, you had some gems in there that I wish got like animated, like when was it an episode? Well, like, no, it wasn't. But it was like, you know how Claude was always buying these weird experimental things?
Yep.
So there was this one where they took like a bag of jelly beans that were like love potions, and they were eating the jelly beans and looking at Segumi, so Segumi was like caught in the middle of this madness. Where like the three, I don't know if it was Takibana, but like I know Chitoge and Onodera wanted to fuck her, and like one of the big jokes in that one again, Onodera Master Race went crazy, is that like Segumi was actually going for it was actually kind of into it when Onodera was coming onto her. Nisakoi. One day, we'll go into more detail about that. That's one of the remake episodes I want to do.
Damn, man. And dude, it's funny because I only watched Nisakoi because of Josh.
Really?
Because it's like he was the one who got me into it because he was like, I think, when did Nisakoi come out?
2014.
Yeah, that was like before, that was before I really got around watching a bunch of shoujos. Yeah,
I think that was one too. Well, sort of my first shoujo was Dog and Scissor.
I remember that.
Still one of the most underrated shows, but apparently a lot of people don't like it, and I'm like, it's fucking funny.
I remember watching that show when I was like too bored to study for math.
Right.
I literally I literally would open up my math book. I'd be sitting in the chair with like a snack or something. I'd do one problem and be like, you know what? I'm a failure at math anyways. Why am I trying? And then I just like turn around and I was like, I'll just watch this.
Just take the punches. That shit was fucking weird.
Yeah, it was.
Especially since it was like also a romance, but you gotta kind of think about the situation the main character was in, and it just makes it weirder.
Dude, it's just like the more you thought about it, the more strange it got.
Yeah. Anyway, God, all that talking about shoujo just really made me forget. Well, then again, due to the fact that we haven't had a proper show in a couple of weeks, and then the manga show didn't really require an opening, I completely forgot that I needed to get an opening. Oh, and I forgot I was watching Aki Dearest' like little review of Faku Dating. An old video, just because me and my friend were talking about it.
It's strange. I could have sworn I saw on the shopping list for a Gamer Girl bathwater.
No, plus Gamer Girl P is way more.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Man, that is fucking gross. I mean, technically, if you're buying bathwater, you're buying like piss too, and you're probably buying whatever else is fucking on it.
Hey, fetishes goes to use, man.
Yeah, there's one. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on until like this Gamer Girl I follow on YouTube. I think it's Heianbi. She was making jokes about selling bathwater, and then like a few weeks later I find out about this girl who got kicked out of Instagram, and then when I looked up why she got kicked out of Instagram, not only was she doing stupid stuff on there, but yeah, that was the girl who was selling her bathwater. And I'm like, oh, why?
Who was that one girl, chick, the cosplayer who got kicked out from the anime community because she was like she was doing stupid stuff as well.
Oh yeah, Momo.
There you go.
Yeah. Oddly enough, she's named after like an urban legend going on right now. But yeah, that was the one that was like sexually assaulting people and like, you know, not necessarily sexually assaulting, but like
just
harassing them.
Yeah, sexual harassment if anything, just because like, you know, like them know the limits and everything will continue even though they were said no. Yeah,
there was this. I'll show you a photo. It's probably a bad idea so early in the morning, but like. There was this
Nothing's bad early in the morning.
Of course it is. No, there was this one girl that I follow called Bunny Ayumi, and it looks like Instagram.
That sounds so familiar. Who is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know who that is.
Oh, how do you know about her? How do you know about her? Do you follow her also?
No, a lot of people post about her on Facebook.
Yeah.
From the group, gaming group I'm in.
Yeah, people fucking love her. But she was one of the people who got assaulted by that chick, and like her and her girlfriend who is equally as hot as her.
No, yeah. I didn't know why they post a lot about her in some gaming groups.
Yeah.
Because literally, like one of the games that I played, they'd be like, so Yuri, it's like Yuri cosplay went for like these two characters because in the game that I played, which is Honkai. There's like there's literally like nothing. Literally everybody there's a lesbian or they're gay.
Yeah. Yeah. See, just God fucking damn it.
Oh, that's a pretty good drawing.
Yeah, I get now I kind of get why homophobia is a thing. I'm joking. I don't. Fuck you, people. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, what was it? Bunny got assaulted, and like her and her girlfriend made like a YouTube video talking about consent and all that, and how like the girl had her fans going after her because it was like, man, she's just fucking complaining about nothing, and I was like, okay. Oh, God fucking damn it. Again, got caught up talking about...
We have to pull out the opening and everything, man.
I have the opening. I just have to leave it to go to Instagram.
Nah, man. For me, I'm kind of like Nozaki from Monty Shoujo's.
Yeah.
Because I realized, like, it's like, why did it have to be born? Like, why couldn't that have been a slender Bishonen? Because when he couldn't fit in the sailor uniform.
Yeah.
It's like, why was I born with these muscles? Why couldn't I have been slender Bishonen instead?
The biggest dunces motherfucker in the world. That is true. Some tall people don't like being tall. So anyway, due to a pick that Lewis made, a pick that I didn't realize how badly I was going to be regretting, we are going to be talking about the ancient magus bride, or magus bride.
Yeah, aka for all you weak people who are practicing your Nihongo, Mahotsukai no Yome.
Oh, yeah, I would have no idea that's what it was. Well, then again, you did pull that last time, and I'm like, what the fuck is? Oh, ooh, I can't wait to watch this then.
Yeah,
a mistake that I will regret.
24 episodes of feels.
Of feelings. And some no Mob Psycho opening.
I read this opening.
Even the opening is kind of warning you. So she's 14 when the show starts, right? I could have sworn they said 14, and then by the end of it, they're like, "Oh, I'm 16 now."
Yeah. No, I think she was 16 the whole time.
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
Well, I mean, she had like no one who really cared about her, so she like sold herself off to slavery.
Which, by the way, 16 is only as an age of consent in Japan, I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. After the opening, I got some shit to say.
Oh man.
God, this opening. Yeah, another thing though is like, I think this is the only part that's actually like uniquely animated.
Yep.
And then like the rest of it, and especially the second opening, it's all like clips from the show.
No, yeah, because like this opening does have clips from like what's gonna happen in the show.
Yeah, yeah, like a majority of this is from the show now.
Yeah. Right there, yeah.
But like the second opening, it's all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Something tells me the wit was like, we're really stretching ourselves thin. Because when was this? 2016 or 17?
I think it was 17.
Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, maybe the OVAs. Funimation published this in 18.
Yeah, because it was like I think it's 18. Yeah, because I'm thinking of the OVAs, which is 3 episodes for Mahotsukai.
Yeah, which were like a year before the actual show came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they really were stretching themselves thin because they were still working on Attack on Titan.
And and the thing about the show is that by around episode 18 they were actually catching up to the manga.
Really?
Yeah, there were actually like 2 or 3 chapters behind it at that point. So like one of the things that people were worried about was like, oh shoot, like are they gonna have to make an anime original ending or what?
Was it?
I don't know. I did.
I'll have to look that up. That or they talked to the creator and he had to show them notes.
No, yeah, because like once again, this was one of these shows that I began reading in high school as a manga, but then forgot about it because I was like, I wonder what happened to that thing I was reading. I wonder what it was called.
Yeah.
Until it became a show, and I was like,
no.
I remember everything. Just tears started to well up in my eyes. Like, I remember everything.
I remember, like I was telling you before I turned the recording on, I remember looking, walking through the manga aisle at Barnes & Noble and like seeing this, and I'm like, yeah, this looks interesting. Then I see that 7 Seas Press logo, and I'm like, oh man, this probably isn't good because 7 Seas Press for a while wasn't really known for bringing out the good stuff. Now they are. They fucking have Ancient Magus Bride, and fucking Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
Which they I love the dub. I love the translation for Made in Abyss because like, even though the show and I think the Japanese manga are very clear on their genders, they made the little boy in the maid suit and Nanachi into non-binary characters.
Oh, dude, that was fucking funny, man. When we first saw that made, because like that was literally her thing.
Yeah.
She just wanted to see the little boy in the maid suit.
Fucking Ozen, man.
Dude, she's my favorite, man.
I would have said long ago that she's one of the more deadly characters in the show, and then I got to the part with Banju.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy was fucking insane. like literally, I got to the point in the manga where they like, I don't know if they necessarily, I think they did kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Where they fight him, I'm like, this guy's fucking crazy. That's his problem.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, and then there's like a lot of things as well because like you gotta realize like everybody who's went like really deep in the abyss has like something has like one or more screws loose.
Oh yeah, especially since the people who have like had to ascend at one point.
Yeah. That
they're like, yeah, you can be a white whistle, but it's not like you're fully immune to the abyss by that point.
You're just used to it.
And oh god, okay. As soon as that show gets animated, we're doing an episode on it.
Which is
season 2. As soon as season 2 gets animated, because there's some shit that I know is gonna happen in that. There's some shit that I know is gonna happen in that season that I want to talk about because I read it in the manga.
I want to see American release for the movie.
Didn't they do it already? I don't think it was dubbed, but I think they put it out here already.
Yeah. I wanted to do an American release for it because I know it was a Japanese release.
Oh.
So you can find it in like those those websites for the masses.
Oh yeah, if you want to do that. I mean, it's not like we haven't done that before with one of our super old reviews, but now we have a super legal review out.
Yeah. Oh man, but I really want to see that. I really want to see that movie in IMAX or Dolby.
Oh yeah, man, that's super rare. Like, it was weird watching, and this is just because they like fucked up one of the screenings. It was weird watching Broly like in AMC Prime.
Yeah.
And that was only because they fucked up the screening and like they had to, because I guess what they were thinking was, no one's gonna fucking watch this Broly movie. Let's just give its stadium to someone else. And then when they got people coming, they're like, well fuck, the movie's already playing. Nothing's playing in the Prime Theater, so go ahead and just put it in the fucking Prime Theater. And it was weird seeing it like, holy shit, this sounds amazing in Prime. They're like, it was one of the best happy accidents they ever made.
That's funny.
Also, quick side note, before we jump completely into the anime,
we're trying to get the happiness out here before we have to, completely lose it.
Yep, so complete and total happiness. Turns out Vic is slowly becoming more and more innocent as the days go on. And people like me are like, no shit, Sherlock. Look, I just had an incident at my place of work. I can't really say anything on camera, on recording about it.
So you posted, yes, I'm gonna post it on Twitter. So follow me for the full story.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter. No one ever checks your Twitter. But something happened at my work, and it involved like one of the nicest people at my work. So again, I was just like, Vic's a cool dude, but he has been known to kind of flirt with parents of his fans.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it was like parents. And like, there's a bunch of stories of people like, yeah, I asked him for an autograph and he gave me the autograph and it was super nice, but then he started hitting on my mom. but it's like...
Vic's a man of culture.
He is a man of culture. but it's like, okay, so maybe he could have done it, we don't know. But then once all the dispositions came out and you kind of realize that the people accusing him are contradicting themselves and they're creating witnesses that don't exist. I'm like, oh,
Which, by the way, guys, which, by the way, for all of you who are going to law school, always suspect the accuser when their stories begin to contradict. Because this is what I learned when I was taking administration of justice. A true victim of something would never contradict themselves about a story because they'll always have the story like clear inside of their mind and everything.
Oh yeah.
So one of the easiest ways you can tell between somebody who's genuine about it and somebody who's just looking for the attention, just see if they contradict themselves or not. Because if the facts will be facts.
Yeah. They will always shoot themselves in the foot if they don't if it's not genuine. Like if they really don't know what they're doing. But yeah, it was weird like listening to what was it? Like literally the classic thing happened. Monica accused him of like assaulting her in a hotel room, and then the guy who was involved in the story came in and it's like, I would remember something like that, and that did not happen when I went in the room. When I went in the room, they were talking normally. She did not look disturbed. She did not look upset. She looked fine. I would notice and remember something like that, and now it's just like, oh, fuck. Anyway, back to speaking of sexual assault. No, I'm joking now. Anyway, Ancient Magus Bride is a 2018 anime animated by Studio Wit. Also known as, we got you Attack on Titan Season 2, now we can do other stuff. It centers on a young girl named Chise of Japanese descent. Which I need to point that out because this is one of the few anime where she's like the only Japanese person in the show.
Yep. Despite her red hair and green eyes.
I know! I'm like, was she supposed to not be Japanese, but your publisher said make her Japanese? Because that would, like, I get it, it's an anime thing, but at the same time, it's like, the fact that she lives in London at one point, she could have easily just been Scottish or something.
Yep. Oh, dude, don't even say that, man, because like it reminds you of like Pokemon Sword and Shield.
But, oh god, the Scottish Pokemon trainer. Where they're like, look at this cute girl you get to play as.
They're like, what are you looking at? You fucking want to start or something?
Yeah. your Pokemon's a complete and total twat. It's like, oh god, we just gave you guys a cute girl and you just went with it. Pokemon Sword and Shield coming to a Nintendo 64 near you. I love that how like people are pointing out like how bad the graphics look, and I'm all like, yeah, that's always been Pokemon. they never cared about making the games look good because they had to literally fit every Pokemon in the backlog.
Yep.
So anyway, it centers on a 14 or 15 because the first season takes place like throughout a year.
Yep.
So a 14 or 15-year-old girl basically they just throw you into it. She sells herself into slavery. Like, not even like, oh, I got kidnapped by poachers. No, it's like, this girl was gonna kill herself. And then this guy shows up and is like, how about you, like, give your life to someone else? And she gets sold into a magical creature, slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Which already is like, magical creature. She's a girl. So are you gonna, like, feed her for food or something? And then they start saying, like, oh yeah, this girl is something called a slay beggy. Which I just thought was slang for, like, a slave girl. But then it's like, oh wait, no, it's something, like, really powerful, apparently.
Yep.
Sorry. Basically, during the auction, this mysterious man in a mask that isn't fooling anyone, walks up and, like, buys her for what, like 10 million? Like, it was a lot.
That was a couple million, yeah. I mean, like, the thing about it as well is, like, this is one of the mega things as well when Ancient Magus Bride first came out and everything, the OVAs, is, in the anime they call her a slave Eggy, but in the manga, I don't know if it was, like, just, like, maybe it was just a translation or anything, they called her Slave Vega.
Oh.
Which was, by the way, both work.
Yeah.
Both work. It was just kind of like, it was like, which one you just offer? It's literally just a case of potato.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't really see anything wrong with either. But, yeah, again, that's Seven Seas Press doing their typical thing before they got really good about it. Sorry, I'll stop picking on Seven Seas Press. It's because they're an offshoot of Sentai. What?
Now we're getting to the crux of the root of this problem.
Yeah, it's my arch nemesis, Sentai Filmworks. I feel so bad because I have a couple of Sentai like animes in my house. I have like the first season of Ajin and like Parasite. No, the Parasite dub is 50-50, but the Ajin dub is amazing because it wasn't done by Sentai. Yeah, so he ends up buying her for a lot of fucking money, and you later find, like, literally near the end of the anime, you later find out that, like, since she was the one that sold herself,
and this was the exhibitor pretty much,
yeah, she got like half of what he gave her. So
yeah,
supposedly, because I don't remember if it was 10 or 100, but she either got 50 or $5 million. We might have to go back and check, but like I know it was a stupid amount.
No, yeah. Because like one of the things that's like special with Chisa is like ever since she was a kid, she was able to see these things that like not many people would see at all. Like she would see shadows, these fairies wandering around and everything. And for her, like that was usually the root of her cause of misery, because it usually ostracized her as a person. People would usually think she's weird or anything just because she would talk or be, look at stuff that like other people couldn't see at all.
Yeah.
And like they usually treated her as like a weirdo for that.
Yeah, and I love how the anime really like they really subverted expectations, because it's like, okay, so the family left her because she was seeing things and making them look weird. But then you find out later that no, everyone in her family had the sight. They were all able to see things, but it's as the show starts to go on that you find out that she was the only one that was a slave beggy. So it just kind of made it kind of put her family in a situation that they got tired of fast.
What about her mother?
Huh?
Her mother too.
Her mother, yeah, that's what I mean, the family. Like, remember, the dad and the brother left them,
yeah,
and then left the mom alone to defend her and do everything.
Even though her body was really frail.
Yeah, like she was worse off, but she had to be careful from the creatures that were literally like, oh, the person protecting them is gone. Let's get the daughter. It's like, Jesus Christ.
That was giving me some Planet feels.
Yeah, that was one of those like, man, the mom must have been a monster. Oh, I get it. I mean, it's sad, especially since Kisa witnessed what happened and then turned the mom into a villain because of it, just as a way to cope.
Yeah, because like remember as a kid, those things leave strong impressions on you.
Yeah.
And so she like pretty much like it wasn't until she had she went back to like to her home memory, so where she realized just what just how much she just misremembered about her.
Yeah. But also it was like she had to misremember because it was the only thing kind of keeping her going.
Yeah.
Like, it was keeping grief from attacking her. If she imagined her mom as a monster, then that was easier for her to cope with. Again, this anime, man. This fucking anime. But then when she gets a good look at the guy who buys her, you kind of see something super weird, which is it's not a mask, it's not a disguise, but the dude has a face of a skull of an animal. Mm-hmm. Like, let's just say demon, because it looks like a...
He looks like a Wendigo.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It looks like a Wendigo. And apparently he's human, he's very well-mannered. And, almost immediately just comes off as very caring. But I do like the little detail that until they got to his house, he was very cold.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they got to the house, he, removed her shackles and started treating her like a parent.
No, yeah. And the thing about it is, don't be fooled by that. He may seem mature in the first couple episodes, but give it time and you'll just see, how they're both in the same boat.
Yeah. Again, the fact that he does treat her like a parent is a little weird because the show is called the Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah.
So,
and he tells her straightforward that he's gonna turn her into a bride eventually.
Oh yeah, literally his whole plan, because a Sleighbecki, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a being that can absorb massive amount of magical energy, but most of the time they can't even handle it themselves.
No, yeah, because for them it's pretty much that ability to absorb a huge amount of magic is what causes their bodies to be frail.
Yeah.
Because as you see later on in the show and everything, every time she uses magic, it pretty much incurs a cost to her body, something to her veins will rupture, or she'll have some of her organs can't bear the stress and everything, hence where she coughs blood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it goes from fainting to I'm okay. It's okay. Yeah, she gets hospitalized a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the show likes to go places, because there's one point where she gets hospitalized, gets sent to the fairy forest, and then nearly gets drowned.
No, yeah, but that was for a good reason. It was for a good reason.
It was for a good reason, yeah.
Legit, this is for a good reason though, because again, this is pretty much one of those pushes she needed to continue caring for her life.
Yeah, because one of the big things that the show covers on is depression, and also a parasitic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Where she's using what was his name? Oh,
Elias.
Yeah, Elias.
Or you want to be really classy, Ainsworth.
Oh, okay. Because I might just go with that, because what the dub was calling him was Elias.
Elias?
Yeah.
Oh, Elias again, potato.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, Elias, who again is an unknown magical being. We're under the impression that he was a mage, but as the show goes on, you kind of realize that nobody knows what he is.
Yeah.
And a few people are scared of him horribly.
Oh yeah, because people just say he's something in between a magical creature and the human, because you can tell he used to have human emotions as well, but you just don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, and the best guess, because he does more or less have a dad. Mm-hmm. I think his name was Lyndon.
Lyndon, yeah.
Yeah. Who was a caretaker for dragons, but he kind of became his father, because what was it? Yeah, so
because Lyndon's master was the one who assigned Elias as his apprentice.
There we go. Thank you.
Dude, I love his master so much.
There was a lot of really good characters in here that just weren't in here enough.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's just that one episode, and that's it.
Yeah, and but one thing that Lyndon's master, or Lyndall, that the master thinks is maybe he was just some mage that fucked around with magic he wasn't supposed to, and blew himself into something.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no one knows what he is, and the show doesn't really want it. The show, at least right now, doesn't even want to go into what he might be. They just focus on what he is, and how much of a danger he is to Chise. But, you know, originally Chise is using him to kind of make herself feel better, make herself feel wanted, and she's very codependent of him.
Yeah, really. Oh, yeah. That's actually like the best way to describe their initial relationship. It was like more she was just like overly dependent on him because he was the only one who really showed affection for her.
Yeah. And is like giving her a sense of like family again, you know, like bringing her to his house, giving her a bath.
By the way, everybody, when you see the relationship start off, do not assume that it's all going to be rainbows and butterflies.
No.
Because pretty much like the whole show literally is centered on how the relationship improves over time, because it's just one of those things where you're just kind of like, yeah, I bought you and everything, but you gotta realize it's like, you know, like I do have my plans for you and everything. So like, oh wow, it's like they actually have feelings for each other.
Yeah, like literally his plan at first is, I just want to create like I want to teach you magic so I can create like an unlimited source of magical energy.
Yeah.
It's an experiment I'm working on. And then like literally the night when she was almost about to get abducted by fairies, who again end up becoming very likable characters by the end of the series. I would have never thought that. He ends up just flat out saying, yeah, I'm hoping to turn you into my bride someday. And then that's when I just pick up the phone and I'm like, I'd like to talk to the police. Again, it's something you gotta get to, because I could be wrong, but I think this was under some form of controversy by, again, it was another one of those, it was an outlet that maybe saw the first couple of episodes, but didn't watch the show after that, and decided to write an article about how this was, what's up?
I have something on my back.
Oh.
I don't know what it is, but it's like hurting me.
Oh.
It's like, oh god, it's like something sucking on my life. Oh shit, it's like that one vampire chick that hunted that old guy.
Aw, we'll get to that.
That one was cute too.
That was cute. That was cute. But again, the show can never let you have anything.
I know.
We'll get to that in a bit. But what was I saying?
Oh, talking about the how now they made a controversy about Elias's and Chise's marriage well.
Yeah, they were.
Plan.
Yeah, they were basically accusing the show of promoting like sexual grooming, because it was like, I bought you, you're a young girl, and I'm just going to, you know, groom you into my wife. And it's like, technically yes. But at the same time, the show, you know, veers away from that. And at the end, it's her decision whether she wanted to marry him or not.
Exactly. And like the thing about it as well is like, it's just like something he just says at the moment, and after a while, it's just kind of like, all right, back to apprenticeship.
Yeah, he mentions it for like the first 3 episodes, because it's literally episode 1, I want to marry you. Episode 2, oh, we're gonna go out. We're gonna test areas for our honeymoon. Episode 3, another mention to a honeymoon. Episode 4 and onward. We do not bring it up until the very, very last episode.
Yeah.
And you'll have other characters lightly bring it up.
Oh yeah.
Just lightly be like, oh, are you his new bride?
Like you're the Thorn Mage's bride and everything. Like you're the new Robin around the hood.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really just like it's so lightly focused on, because like we were saying, the show is focusing on a much more deeper aspect. And like, you know, going back to a parasitic relationship, as the show goes on, you even learn how...
Actually, I would say it was completely parasitic. Because like they're both using each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to go for. Like, you know, you then end up finding out how clingy he is, and at first it's something cute. It goes from the house felt cold when you weren't here to fucking giant tentacle monster not letting her go in a black abyss.
Oh dude, yeah, dude. When I saw that, I was like, oh god, man. It's like you know what? That's the sad part too, because like I felt the same that Titania, the elf queen, felt for him. So I was like, dude, I just feel nothing but pity for this guy.
Yeah,
dude. Like once you get to see like Ainsworth's like past and everything and what he is, like, you know, the fact that like it's confirmed that like even like the elf and queen and king, like when he talking about it, like it's confirmed that he used to be human and everything, but now he's just something in the middle, like where he doesn't belong anywhere.
Yeah.
Because like even the familiars were just saying like, yeah, like look at the half-assed.
Yeah. Yeah, they are all very much like just you know, he's something. She also has a royal guard who fucking hates him.
Oh, the Spriggan?
Yeah, who, like, at one point was gonna kill him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was some One Punch Man shit right there, where it's just like, this isn't even my final form, I'm a giant rock golem. But it...
I mean, I was kind of expecting it because I was like, nah, these things kind of guard the queen. It's like I don't think he would be that much use in that like small state.
Yeah. Well, in the small state, like, it only took 3 of them to pin down,
Ainsworth.
yeah. But again, it's like, it's a thing that they focus on a lot, and they do focus, it's like I said, they focus on what he is, but they never focus on what he was, nor do they have any desire to kind of focus on what he was.
Yeah, because the only real recollection to his past is usually by Lyndall when he first talks about when he met him.
Mm-hmm.
And like even then, it's like you're kind of like even then when he first met, because like Lyndall has lived for a long while. Like most of these mages, you gotta keep in mind have lived really long lives.
Yeah, even apparently it's even like that for like alchemists too.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was that whole Angelica was her name. There was this guy who was in love with her and like spent years winning her over, and the reason the guy just kind of came to terms that like I'm gonna die, but you know my daughter and her are still gonna be around for God knows how long.
Oh, dude, Angelica was one of the best characters. Everybody was just so lovable in this show.
Another character who was horrifically underused. Well, not enough. Not as bad as someone like Stella, who was there in one episode and then...
Slowly became a presence.
Yeah, slowly became a presence and then was almost going to get sacrificed. I loved that relationship too, because it was like... I mean, Alice was her first friend, but like this was the one that was just like a regular human she could talk to.
Yeah.
And then it just is like, one funny aspect is that the girl's 10 and Chisa's like 16, so it's very like weird for Chisa, especially with how fucking mature she is compared to Chisa.
Oh yeah.
But like, I really like that scene where she's with Alice and she's like, how old are you? She's like, oh, I'm gonna be 18 this year, and it's like, oh, good. Kind of like, good. I don't have a friend who's like drastically different in age than me.
Alice was also another funny character as well. And again, man, dude, it was so depressing going through most of the characters' like backstories and everything.
Yeah.
Alice, how like she said that she came from like a broken home, and like then she ended up like selling drugs at a young age
And was hooked on it.
Yeah, because her parents made her get hooked on it.
Yeah.
So like until she was rescued by her master.
Yeah, and that was the thing I didn't want to be right about. Just because of her design, because a lot of these characters have very lazy looking eyes, there was just something about Alice that I'm like, oh man, this girl looks like a drug addict. Oh god, I was right! and that was the thing too, they don't even turn away from that. They don't even turn away from the fact that like, when her master found her in the streets, they show a small period of her being detoxed too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was hard to go through, man.
Yeah.
When I saw, dude, here's the thing about like when I watch those, like whenever, especially when somebody's detoxing and everything, it's a shock to the body. Dude, that was like for me, that was legit one of those moments where I was like, oh god, this is like actually one of those things that actually got to me, man.
Yeah, and it's funny because it could have just really been easy for like, oh, drink this and you'll be fine, but it's like, no, drink this to clean the rest of the shit in your body, but now the rest of it's up to you.
Oh yeah, dude, like those nights she just spent like just shaking in the bed, and while like her master was just like cleaning her up and everything.
Yeah.
And making sure like she didn't run a fever.
Yeah, and then she's there for like a couple of, maybe like a year or a few months, and you even find out because what was the master's name again?
I forget.
Yeah, but there's an alchemist in the show who's originally introduced as like a quote-unquote villain because he really hates Ainsworth and is super against the idea that he has like a human girl living with him.
Is it the one that cannot die?
No, it's the one. It's Alice's master with the scratches on his face. He's an alchemist.
Yeah. Oh, is that what they called him? Because they were called sorcerers when I watched it.
Really?
Yeah, because he said like when they were explaining like the difference between the two, like mages are like the ones who like abide by the laws of nature of anything, so like they're bound by it. but because they're bound by it, it's like that's why they tend to live on long lives and everything. Whereas sorcerers try to defy those laws and everything in search of by conducting experiments that would further their magical powers.
Oh, then maybe he himself wasn't No, he was, because there was a part where well, I don't know, maybe because there was that part where they showed up in the cat kingdom.
Yep.
And what was it? The king of the cats was just like, alchemists aren't welcome in this area.
I guess it's just one of those things that get lost in translation, because in the sub they were called sorcerers.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe that was on Funimation. The dub for Funimation wasn't perfect. They had some decent performances, but the two big standouts was definitely Kisa and Elias. Which I mean, if you don't get them right, then what's the point?
Oh, yeah.
But like there was some weird dubbing choices. Like the girl playing Stella was a little off. The guy, what was it? The guy who played, I'm just gonna call him Joseph. I forgot what the actual name was, but like the guy playing Joseph was like, okay, you always play this character, so yeah.
Oh, the guy, the wandering sorcerer or alchemist.
Yeah.
Oh, Cartaphilis.
Oh, okay, yeah, him.
Which is a biblical name.
Oh, okay. Wait, are they saying that he found like a biblical figure then?
No, Cartaphilus, because like the legend of Cartaphilus. I'll tell you that when we get to him, because like I did research on this.
Oh, okay. But yeah, basically the show.
And what did they call Elias? Like Pilus Murialis?
Yeah, he had a few names.
Or was it Pilus Murialis? Something like that, but it was like a Latin shit. Yeah, let me get my tablet so I can do research. Continue it on.
Alright. So basically the show from there kind of just spans off to her going on these little one-off adventures, and well, not necessarily one-off, because the majority of them do come back and play bigger roles, but one of the big standouts in here was, actually real quick, there's also another character who's introduced, like maybe by episode 6 or 5, named Ruth.
Oh.
Who was a familiar, who was basically a dog that believed he was a human in the time he was alive, and his master died, and when her dad was trying to take him home, he refused to leave her grave because he believed she was sleeping and died.
Dude, that's the thing for me, like when I saw that story like that, it was like, it reminded me of the story of Hachi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I think that's exactly what that was. But again, not in Japan, so he had to get creative with it. Yeah. But yeah, it's like he believed he was human.
Renfred! His name is Mikhail Renfred.
Oh, okay. God, I feel like that's something I could have remembered. Wait, so what are they called?
Sorcerers.
Oh, okay.
So there's the mages, there's the sorcerers, and then there's the witches.
Alright, I think that was a definite loss in translation there. You gotta get on that fucking Funimation.
But what were you talking about?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to quickly run through Ruth.
Oh.
So like they end up finding this dog and he ends up becoming Kisa's familiar. And the interesting thing with Ruth though is he can shift between a human and a dog.
Mm-hmm.
So when they find him, he's like he's maybe like in his 40s. And then as soon as he gets linked to Kisa, he immediately takes up like the big brother role.
Oh yeah, because like I remember during that episode he was saying like one of the things about familiars is that they would usually try to take on the form more suitable to their masters and everything.
Yeah.
And they literally show everything up to their emotions and stuff. So Ruth is literally feeling whatever Chisa feels.
Yeah.
As we can see whenever she uses magic, and he starts to cough up blood as well when she coughs up blood.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that people never really talk about with familiars. I'm looking at you, J.K. Rowling. Is in lore, familiars are linked on every level to their master. So when the master gets sick, the dog will get sick. When the master dies, the dog will die.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why in the modern world we live today, every time we depict modern familiars, the person mainly will always have a issue with it. I once read a book by the writer of Doctor Strange on how a guy refused to turn one of his dogs into a familiar because he didn't want the dog to go through what he went through.
Yeah.
And again, like Ruth ends up becoming the big brother, the protective type, but he also shares a little bit of the same toxicity that Ainsworth has.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as the show goes on, he's protective of her, but understands he's her own person and will often help her with, you know, Ainsworth. Because there is an episode where she just runs off without really telling Ainsworth anything.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one of those, like, he was pissed off and Ruth had to come in and be like, I was with her the whole time, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of okay.
No, yeah, like, that's one of the things as well, is like, when he was angry at her, he didn't really, even he himself did not realize he was angry.
Yeah.
Because when he was scolding her, it was like, oh, you're angry? It's like, what, I'm angry? It's like, yeah, this is like, I guess this is what you look like when you're angry.
Yeah.
Because, again, one of the things about Elias, or Elias, or however you want to pronounce it, potato again.
Yep.
One of the things about him is, like, especially, like, this is what I told you, like, don't be fooled by, like, the first 3 episodes of the thing. He's something that's mature.
Yeah.
He's pretty much got the things about he's pretty much this is one of the things he tells Chisa is, like, since he is part fairy, one of the things his life is, like, he cannot empathize with her at all whenever she feels something at all, because he's lost his emotions a long time ago.
Yeah, and that was one of the things he had with Ruth, is he kind of looked at Ruth to be the one to let him know if Chisa was holding anything back from her.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ruth is also, you know, like you said, connected to her emotionally.
Yeah.
And, like, knows her past and knows everything about her. And knows when she's feeling things and isn't telling Elias, because Chisa is one of those very standoffish people who really doesn't want to be a burden on anyone or doesn't want to ruin anything she has. So, moving on, one of the little side stories that go on that I absolutely loved but hated at the same time, screw you, Ancient Magus, right? was Chisa and her familia wandering around the neighborhood because Ainz was having an episode after an encounter with a deadly sorcerer. That's when he turned into a monster and locked himself in the room trying to reshape himself.
Yep.
And she's just walking around the neighborhood, bumps into this very kindly old man named Joel, and notices there's, like, this type of fey vampire latched onto him. And I forget what it was, but it was an incredibly long name.
Oh, I got you.
Like the actual name of a species, but...
Let me bring up my encyclopedia.
And I've heard of these before, again, thanks to that book I read, Dreams and Shadows.
It's a Lianancide.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty much like a fancier version of a vampire.
Yes. And super fucking hot.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, she probably is a cross between a vampire and a succubus.
Oh yeah, totally. Except sometimes they don't even know when one is latched onto them.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, the thing about her species, if anything, is, like, by the way, her name was Red Current.
Yeah, I didn't even I don't think they ever called her that.
I think they call it, we were just too busy paying attention to other things of her.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the thing about her is, like, especially about this fairy or, like, neighbor or whatever you want to refer to them as, there's many different things, like, ways, like, to refer to. Is, like, the thing with her is, like, why I say, like, she's like somewhere between a vampire and a succubus, is she drinks blood, but the thing with her is, like, in return for drinking blood or, like, taking something from a human, like, the thing these fays do is, like, in return, like, they give humans, like, they give them like a special talent or something, which is, like, why they usually, like, whenever they talk about them, it's like they're usually associated with, like, famous figures, like, oh, like, famous musicians or something.
Yeah.
And, like, in the past, well, like, yeah, like, the reason why some musicians, like, were really short lived is because, like, they were haunted by these fays.
Yeah, and it's believed, but again, it's kind of 50-50 because she's unknowingly feeding from him.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with Joel is his talent is that he writes these beautiful stories.
Yeah. But
he doesn't publish them, and it kind of, like, drives her crazy. Because, okay, the thing going on here is Chisa notices that this old man does have, a fayish vampire on him. And she immediately becomes, she immediately likes Kisa because she's able to see her. And after some stories, they find out that, oh yeah, one day I was hanging around in his garden and like I could have sworn he saw me for like a few seconds.
Yep. Oh, when their eyes met.
Yeah, and then the old man even said like, yeah, my wife passed away, left me this garden, and then like right when my grief was about to take me over, I saw this vision of this beauty, and like I haven't seen her since, and I don't know if she is real, but I do like to think that it was my wife telling me to like keep going on.
Oh yeah, when he thought for a brief second, when they noticed for a brief second that their eyes met.
Yeah.
Oh dude, that story was so cute and everything when they first met.
Yeah.
She was describing it as well. One of the things again as well is like again since the guy Joel, he's a regular human. So like that was like just one of those rare instances where he could catch a glimpse, but since he doesn't have the sight, he's not able to completely see her.
But again, it's like this weird connection between the two, and she has stuck around with it. When she first finds him, he's like a young dude, arguably maybe like in his early 40s or so. I don't know, maybe late 30s, but she like immediately just hangs around him and is like this unknown force just watching over him. But as they go on, it's kind of notice that she's taking things without noticing it, because she doesn't even know why she's sticking around with this guy, because she's not like the usual type of people she used to stick around with.
Yeah.
But Kisa, of course, brings up the fact that she might be in love, but the fairy doesn't want to hear that, because it's like, you know, our species, to love someone, we have to devour them.
Yeah.
But again, like when they show up maybe 6 episodes later or so.
Oh, when they come back and then Joel's like bedridden.
Yeah, like he's dying, and then when like Ainsworth shows up to get a look at him, it's basically like, oh, if you were to leave him now, he'd still die. Like you drank a lot from him, and again, it's at the end where they realize, oh, she was in love with him, and apparently her species can drink unknowingly.
Because again, but like the thing about her is like she just didn't know what talent he got at all, because she's like it wasn't the garden, because like that was already there and everything. She just couldn't put it together like what was the talent that he was getting from her.
Did they say what it was? I thought it was book writing.
No, yeah, I'm just telling you, she just didn't know the talent.
Oh.
Because she was just like, but I don't remember giving him any sort of talent at all.
Yeah, well, it was the books.
Exactly. I don't know how she missed.
I think it was because maybe he wasn't publishing it. So I think as soon as he released it to more people, like let's just say the dude released a book and it became like a national bestseller, and was like one of the greatest books in the world, then she probably would have been like, oh fuck, I know exactly what I gave him. But yeah, it's this episode is really tough because it's one of those like, one of his dying wishes is he wants to see the girl again.
Oh yeah.
So she said breaking fairy law creates a concoction that will allow people to see Fae. But the Fae don't like that, because the Fae don't want humans finding any method of knowing they exist.
No, yeah, and like one of the things that Ainsworth tells her as well is like Faes are usually like, since like it's just in their nature that they do not want to be seen at all by humans. Like they're timid creatures and everything. So that's another thing why it's a law as well, is like why they cannot make any concoctions that allow humans to see them. Yeah,
like literally, the only reason they got away with it is because they gave the concoction to a dying man, and after that they came and confiscated it from her.
Yeah, the fairy king.
Yeah,
Baron.
Which, again, is a character I'm glad wasn't in it enough, because fucking masochist characters.
Dude, that guy was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Especially like, dude, his relationship with Titania, the elf queen and everything.
Yeah.
I just loved it.
His wife. Yeah, I love that part where like dogs are attacking him. He's like, oh, stop! Oh wait, don't stop! He's like, oh, he's one of those people.
When they stick the dogs on.
But
dude, speaking of dogs, man, one of the things I remember when Elias was talking about describing what Ruth was. Because the thing like, oh, it's like probably a black dog showed up in the church.
Oh, like a church hound or something.
Yeah, because originally when that happened to them, like black dogs are just supposed to be keepers of graves. But dude, when I heard that, like I was just thinking like, dude, if they ever make an abridged version of the ancient magus bride, like this better be Ruth's song. This better be Ruth's back introduction song.
Yeah. The immigrant song? Oh. Of course. Anyway. So you just want them to do what they did in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they made Duke of Devlin's, made Duke Devlin's theme song on Being Sexy back every time we talk?
Yeah!
But yeah, no, what was I saying?
Because it fits him, the black dog.
Yeah, no, he's a church grim. And the reason I remember that whole Grimm part is because they say it in the dub, but a Grimm is also what Sirius Black was believed to be in Harry Potter.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying it because like, it fits him perfectly.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's like he's a black dog and everything, the church Grimm and stuff, he's got the style and everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he totally does look like a 70s rocker. I also like the little detail they gave him that when he was in the graveyard, he looked like a regular dog, but then when he became her familiar, his tail became like ghost-like.
Oh yeah.
Like a whip. But yeah, anyway, Joel and the fairy end up having a sweet heart-to-heart where he's thanking her for keeping her going for so long, and is like, well, if you kill me, I get to go back to my wife, and then I like to think that a little piece of me will always be with you, and it's like, duh! Fuck this show! Again, one of the sluttiest looking characters in the show was in one of the purest story arcs.
Pure relationship, man. Oh, dude. God damn it, this reminded me of like, what was it? God damn. I'm trying to remember. That was just one show where there was a succubus. No! I'm thinking, I'm remembering now. I was like, I remember why. Overlord.
Oh yeah,
because like despite Albedo being a succubus, she's never had any experiences like that whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, it could have just been like her not really having the time for her, and then as soon as she did become her own person, she was messed with in the files.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That show. But yeah, I remember that.
But hey, remember, we could have had the alternative, which apparently is like, although which is like her original bio, like despite her dignified look, she is a bit of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad for that. But yeah, anything you want to mention in the show?
I think for me, one of the things I really liked about the show a lot as well is just how much, again, one of the things that Lewis likes about a show is the world building.
Yay! I mean, who doesn't?
Because for me, like one of the things that I really liked about the show again is like they were consistent with all the laws and everything that they had to say. Like there was never any exceptions, especially for Chisa and her body.
Yeah.
Or like the bigger the spell she had to do, or like the longer she had to go for making substances and everything, the more it put a strain on her body as well. It's like it really showed like how much like how what a cost it incurred on her, and the fact that again. How I think Elias explains like slave babies are pretty much thought of as like queen bees to like the fairies and everything. Like they're always willing to help her out because like fairies are naturally attracted to like the amount of magic she's able to bring, and they find her as like just like as a queen bee. So they're always happy to help her out.
Yeah, and she ends up like there are points, I forget what the method for it was. But there are certain points where she can create these little sprouts of flowers that look like crystallized flowers, but they're just jam-packed with a magical energy, and that's like catnip to those to the creatures around her.
No, that was created by the teddy bear that Elias gave to her for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
because he said like one of the things like that's what he used to do for Angelica's daughter. Because like for Angelica. So he pretty much got he got used to making bears since like that was the only thing he could do. And then he imbued some special magic in the bear, so like every night, like whenever Chisa produces energy, because slave babies pretty much are like nuclear reactors, like constantly producing energy.
Yeah, and also energy to the point where to a point even they won't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ended up making it due to some magical spells and by shoving a bunch of magical fly sheep
Oh yeah.
Stuffing into it. Which I like that detail because I didn't think of it until the ending of the episode. I'm like, oh, that's why they were getting all that fluff from them. And then it got really weird when she got attacked by a nice version of those things.
Oh, so that thing creeped the hell out of me because you could just see how different it was.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he did tell me it was different, and then it goes and like tries to like plant eggs on her, and like when they touch you, they like freeze you.
Yeah, because like, the thing about that thing, I don't even know what it's called, like, and I don't want to, that thing creeped the hell out of me, is that it steals the warmth out of other people.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was. It wasn't freezing, it was freezing, but it wasn't like the cold, it was blasting cold at you, it was taking the heat out of you. Mm-hmm. Oh god, that show goes places.
Oh, dude, yeah. And then again, man, when you texted me like how it's like the show makes you cry, like yeah, I would agree the show was making me cry. So I think the one scene that I really love as well. Let me try to pull it up.
Yeah.
But the one scene that really broke me was like was when Lyndon was doing his singing.
Oh yeah, it was one of those scenes again. The scene that makes you cry because within context and the fact that the music is just making it worse.
I know. Yeah, Lyndall's song and everything. That scene was just so beautiful.
Also, again, I love it in dubs because back in the day, dubs would be like, we'll literally do the song in English, but now they just kind of said fuck it, and you'll get the obvious like, oh, here's the Japanese actors now, because they do that with Lyndall and they do it with Kise. Mm-hmm. And Kisa's is more subtle because there's no music behind it. It's just her like singing to Ainsworth, and then you realize, oh wait, that's the Japanese voice actors.
But yeah, and then that's actually what I didn't know because I only watched the sub. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, that's the one I got used to again. Again, I only watch the shows and when I'm used to it.
Yeah, if the dub is there, and I know I need to get the show. If the dub is there and I know I gotta watch the show fast, I'll watch it dubbed just because it will allow me to multitask. But I do not multitask. I barely multitask with this show because it was like, fuck, when you miss something, you miss something.
Yeah.
Like they almost never go back to it, or they'll mention it in an episode later and they'll be like, oh the fuck did that happen?
No, yeah.
So what was this?
Oh, I got his scene for when he sings when they were doing like the Moonlight Festival.
Oh, alright.
When it blew me, so like this was.
Oh my god, I love this little festival. I loved his little familiar. It was so weird looking.
I know. Which, by the way, there's no due to like all the copyrights and everything. This is all I can get.
Really?
Yeah. So translation: this is when they're in the land of the dragons, and he's pretty much telling Kise. So let's shut up Lyndall for a second. So literal translation of what's going on. So pretty much in this scene over here is pretty much Lyndall was telling Chisa how she's gonna eventually have to make her staff and her wand so that she can do magic and everything.
Yeah.
And then in here he's pretty much telling her like when he looks at the sky and everything, he's gonna tell her like he wants to show her something magical. Because he was explaining like one of the things that he specializes in, which is like what every mage does, is that every mage pretty much has a theme to their magic, and his theme pretty much like how he casts magic as anything is by singing. accurate translations.
魔法使いや魔術師にとって名前はとても大事なものでな。常ならば本質や特徴を表す名で呼ばれる。
Damn, I have to rack my brain really hard to just figure out what he's saying. So, next scene, because he does have a familiar, which is like this little Silky, which is like a seal thing.
Yeah.
So, telling Chisa pretty much again, that like what, because she sees him like banging on a drum and everything, it's like what she's doing is like, well, one of the things that familiars from mages is that they help them with rituals and stuff like that as well.
Yep.
So, which here, is they're getting ready for the flowers to bloom.
And all the dragons. That totally nothing terrible happens to, by the way.
And then one of the most beautifully animated scenes.
Yeah. This is why. This is what I was afraid of. Anyway, no, I'm joking. We'll give him a few minutes. A bit. Because we're not monetizing these videos yet, so we don't gotta worry about copyright yet.
Yeah. And this is one that's already on YouTube and everything, so it's like, as long as like, it's giving credit, you're good.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to start doing that. I don't trust those things, by the way, because they're the ones that try to push into the fairy portal.
I know.
That's not coming on the song, is it? Let me look at it.
That's enough of this. It's already gonna make me well up already.
Right? Let me look that up. That sounded like my arch nemesis. No, it's not. It's luckily it's Atsumi Tanizaki, which again, you know, nothing against Kananazawa, but she was everywhere to the point where it was really bad for some anime adaptations. I'm looking at you, Parasite. Rewriting your character just to fit Kananazawa.
Oh, dude! I think one of the funny things as well. I remember you would always tell me a lot of these things, like how you it's just pretty much like the reason why he says nemesis is not because like you know like he hates the person or anything. It's just that she's just everywhere.
Yeah.
Kind of like the guy for like the voice actor for Kirito.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know people who legitimately hate him just because he is Kirito's voice actor. Oh, you know Nappy Gabby too.
Mm-hmm.
I love her art. I fucking love her art, dude.
I know, I love her art too.
I'll link to who we're talking about, but I just saw like his screensaver and I'm like, I fucking love that girl. What guy? Don't know. Might be a girl though. Money's on a girl. Probably wrong.
Yeah, money's on the human.
Hopefully. Oh, did I delete the photo? Oh no, here we go. This is my favorite of hers.
Ooh. No, yeah, I like it because she does a lot of like these like RPG style artworks and everything.
Yeah, and the characters are modeled directly due to like the characters don't even really have names. They're just like, I want to draw this weapon, so I'm gonna draw someone that can correlate with the weapon. Mm-hmm. Like they have a battle axe character, and the battle axe is literally like a busty green-haired girl who swings like a giant battle axe. And like, you know, like that one I showed you, that one's just called Broadsword.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the show. It's one of those shows. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about too is it was one of those shows that when they came out, there was a lot of hype behind it, and a lot of people were talking about how good this show was. And then at somewhere in the middle, there's 3 episodes that are okay, but they're not like the best. They're just like there. And I noticed that's when a lot of people stopped talking about the show. Mm-hmm. And after that, it just became one of those shows that just never got talked about. And is slowly kind of disappearing from like the community.
Yeah.
But it's like, I gotta give the whole, you guys gave up after those 3 episodes. And then after that, the series gets like progressively better again. It's just one of those. It's just one of those like, these episodes aren't as good, so we're gonna drop it now instead of like, oh well, these episodes aren't as good, but they end up coming back later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then especially by episode 18, because that's literally when you just get to see like the epic the climatic end. When like things just pick up all of a sudden.
Yeah, but like the last 3 episodes are literally nothing but like not a fight, you know, this isn't shonen battle, but it is conflict, and it's pretty intense conflict.
Yep.
But yeah, anything else?
And other than that as well, like one of the things again, because like the majority of the time, like this is like what Danny was describing, is pretty much like we're just like at this point, like we're just starting to see like Jesus like development as a mage at that point. Like that's like the 3 episodes where he was talking about. Mm-hmm. We just see like not only develop like her magic and everything, but also the relationships which she built with other people as well. Not only with Angelica and everything, but also with Alice, the different mages, Simon the priest.
Oh yeah, oh that's another character. He's not in it enough, but like he's great. He's basically a priest sent by the church to look after Ainsworth, but at the same time, if they need something done, they'll go to him to help.
Oh yeah, and then when they go visit the fairy kingdom as well, just to get her healed after she took out the abomination.
Yeah, I love that one because it's like at the end of that episode they come back and it's like, wait, it's winter already?
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, time moves very differently in the fairy kingdom.
Oh, when Silky was waiting for them. And then you get to see her backstory. That's another character we have to talk about. Silky.
Terrible. It was so sad. So Silky was a character I almost immediately liked, but one of the things I'm like, when are we gonna find out she's like a weapon made specifically to kill him and is only looking after him? And then the show's like, no, that's not sad enough. What Silky is that she's a banshee. That
was the thing that screeches. And then they go, Gah!
Yeah.
Dude, when they said that she was a banshee, all I could think about was that episode of SpongeBob when they were talking about the harpies. Yeah. He was like, no, I'm not screaming like a banshee. A banshee would be more like, Gah!
What episode is that? Was that one of the newer ones?
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. I'll pull it up right now.
Okay. But, yeah, she's a banshee that outlived her family and was still kind of outlived the family she was haunting, mind you, and was still kind of just sticking around the house, even though it had like slowly decayed and got destroyed.
Oh yeah,
and just cried to somebody. Someone found her.
Let me see if it's something.
What was that? Was that a part of the episode?
Edited. I guess. No, never mind. But yeah, but like it pretty much like plays like this eagle screaming like clip for it.
Oh no, I don't think that was a new episode. I remember that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But back with what you were saying.
Yeah. So
regarding Silky.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, her name's Silver.
Silver, but like, dude, she's always called her Silky. That's the thing.
Oh, okay, maybe then I forgot.
I think they just call her by different things.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because Ainsworth calls her Silver, and then she sometimes calls her Silky, and I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah, even at one point, Chisa calls her Silver Lady. I'm like, First of all, she looks younger than you by the end of the series. But no, she's someone. Who was it that showed up and like showed her where Ainsworth lived?
The Spriggan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and tells her like there's this house where the lights never go off, and they've never gone off. So just like go to that house and you'll be fine. And yeah, she becomes like his landlady, and
dude, she's so adorable, man.
Yeah, she never talks except for that one scene where she said she just wanted more time with him. And
when she whispers it slowly, and then like after that she just waves her head and like goes away.
And then just makes like little noises. But yeah, she almost immediately like takes a liking to Chise.
It really takes a good liking to her because when Elias transforms into when he's having trouble keeping his transformation under control, you just see her outside of his room with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like ready to go ham in case like Elias decides to do something to her.
Yeah, see, that's why I thought she was like there specifically to kill him, because I'm like, yeah, it's just that's not just a hammer too. That's a battle hammer. That's a small battle hammer right there.
I know. Just had like a little hammer ready to like hit him and everything.
Yeah, and then the ending too, like the very ending of the show when Chisa wakes up, you just see her like jump on and like hug her, and they do this thing throughout the show that I really liked, where the art style would get very chibi-ish and make the characters look really cute. I really liked how lazy they were with Ainsworth. I was literally just like a rectangle.
The rectangle with teeth, that's pretty much it. It's like, why give him all that detail?
Yeah, but so Silva is a character that is there, and as the show goes on, again, she never gets fully involved with anything, but she does have a pretty big presence there, and you do kind of see that if it wasn't for her, who knows what condition that house would be.
Yeah.
And also, she has manipulation over the house, too.
Yeah, when she changes them once the seasons change.
Yeah, that was really cool. But that must have been really sad for her having to wait, like, months on end for them to come back.
Yeah.
And when they come back, like, again, she doesn't talk anyway, but just immediately jumps at them and is like a literal dog. Again, purest fucking thing in the world. That's right, I'm really scared what will happen as the show goes on. I'm glad they got rid of one of the biggest antagonists by the end of the series.
Kurt the Feast.
Yes. I even liked how they dealt with him, but yeah, we'll leave that to you guys.
Oh yeah, exactly. Which, again, by the way, just a little bit of an FYI, if you guys are curious like why I mentioned that Cartophilus is a biblical figure.
Oh yeah.
Now this is what I did. AKA I did a study on my own. I don't remember much from Catholic school, so this was like something where I'm like, don't remember that. Sadly, the only reason I remember about Cartophilus is because like his other name that they're usually referred to as is Longinus. Which, if you watch Bible Black, you'll know what that character is. But anyways, Cartophilus in the Bible and everything as well. Like, god damn, I feel like I'm having a Bible talk now. But in biblical standards, Cartophilus was actually one of the guys. Was actually one of the people when Jesus was carrying the cross that threw a rock at him. And so that when he threw a rock at that, like he pretty much got cursed by God. I forgot what this quote says, but when Jesus died, he was like, "I will go, but you will continue going onwards." So one of the things was like he was cursed by God to live forever. And the thing about imperfect immortality is that like you get to live forever, but your body doesn't last as long.
Yep, and that's what was happening in the show.
Yeah, because when Joseph found Cartophilus, he's literally buried, just like saying, buried in the ground, like all withered and everything. He was just saying, "Help me."
Yeah.
And like, well, for me, that's why I get and like this is like what, like Joseph's like probably like what 1400s, 1500s, like medieval times or something.
Yeah.
So. That when I saw that, I was like, dude, this connects so seamlessly. So this guy literally just lived, Cartophilus literally just lived for like 14,000 years, 1400 years, I mean, just to be met by Joseph and later become like one with him. Because it makes sense. Cartophilus was like in robes and everything, was withered away and stuff like that as well. So you can really see why it was a curse.
Yeah.
And then when he merges with Joseph later on, which again, I won't tell you how or why or how they met or anything. That's up to you guys to find out.
Yeah. I almost do want to cover it, but that's so late into the show.
Exactly, and I kind of like it goes into why when White Cheese decides to to do what she does.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the whole thing with Kisa is one of those characters that she's selfish without being selfish. Like.
She's selfish because she self-sacrifices herself for others without questioning it.
Yeah, which she doesn't realize how that's going to affect the people around her. But, you know, she doesn't care freaking giving herself one of the most deadliest curses in the world just to save one dragon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. The only reason why I realized like how powerful dragon curses were is because of the Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah, good. That show.
How like that zombie dragon just kept poisoning a village.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, that is also just like unhygienic too, because they're talking about like a corpse the size of a house that's just like blowing down the mountain and like people are breathing in all the toxins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but again, that was one thing I appreciated about Shield Hero. It's like, yeah, when you kill something, you don't just leave it there. You have to do something about it.
Yep.
One day, people, one day.
One day. But that's just a little bit of like tidbit for like Cartophilus and like his little background.
Yeah. Don't immediately think it's a girl like I did. I don't care, shit. You cute goddamn boy.
Oh god.
Hey, that was before I knew what he was. That was the cat episode where you actually thought he was helping her, and then he turns into, yeah, no, I want you to kill a shit ton of cats. Oh god. I also like what they did with the cats in that world, which just makes me want to experiment now.
Oh god.
Yes. So one thing they introduced is that like cats in that world are basically like they they live, but they really do have 9 lives.
Mm-hmm.
So when they die, they come back to life, but they are just a teensy bit more inhuman.
Wiser, if anything.
Yeah, wiser.
Because the Cat King explained if anything, despite it being female.
Yeah.
But like the Cat King, yeah, remember?
Yeah, that was the thing I found weird. It's like, well, is it just a female doing a male voice? No, they're flat out saying it's a male cat. Yeah, it's a female cat. My bad.
No, yeah, which is like what confused. It was like for the longest I was like, wait, so is the cat? Is this like a she cat? Is this a he cat?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna forget about it. I'm just gonna just treat it as a she cat.
Well, it was a girl in this sub it too, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like the one thing like they explain in the cat world is like for cats like they pretty much live different cycles of life, so they're going into like the whole thing of like reincarnating again until up until their 9th life, which is pretty much where they're really gone for good. Because one of the things about cats is like the cats actually learn to speak around like their 4th or 5th reincarnation or something, because like when they're first born, like how she mentioned, like they're first born as beasts.
Yeah.
And then over time, like they just like as they accrue wisdom and everything, they learn to talk and like pretty much conduct magic and everything.
Yeah, and apparently, because there's that scene where like Kisa's talking to a cat that just like jumping on her, and it's like, oh, can you talk too? And it's like, yeah, this is like my 7th life, so it would be weird if I didn't talk.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting thing they did with cats. And it was an interesting / terrifying thing what they end up doing with them back in the past, a few centuries ago.
The hash-slinging slasher.
I know, the cat murderer. And then at the end, his own cat ended up leading a charge to kill him.
Oh yeah, the first Cat King.
Yeah.
When the first time cats actually ever became organized.
Yeah, which again was like, it was the cat he owned too, if I'm right.
Yeah.
That was the Cat King, and led an organized attack to kill him. This show. That's the tagline for the show today, is this show.
This
show go places. Places you're not ready for.
Oh yeah.
So, anything else?
No, I think I'm pretty much good with like where we're at, cause like literally like we're just like there's just so many. This show has a lot of things to describe, if anything, as well. Like for 24 episodes, it's just jam packed with a lot of information about its world and everything. So like, there's rarely anything that has hardly an explanation, except for like Ainsworth and everything. Like he's still a mystery.
Yeah. You'll even kind of go as far to maybe forgetting some people, because one character I forgot that they brought back, and I was so confused, was the auctioneers.
Oh, the guy who auctioned off Chise.
Yeah, when they bring him back, I'm like, the fuck is this guy?
Oh, it's that. His name is Noel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, the fuck is this? Oh, shit. Damn, that's a deep cut. I don't remember him. I didn't remember him, now I do. So I guess we'll go to final thoughts in a bit, but hold up, let me pull up my favorite ending. It's not going to be the first ending.
I knew it wouldn't.
Huh?
I knew it wouldn't.
I like both of them, but there's just something about the beat in that second one, man, that just gets me.
Right?
Ending to ED. Ed. Ending. Oh, that's not cool. Is this it? Opening. Let's see.
Oh, that's an amazing ending.
That is an amazing ending. No, don't do that. Oh, god damn it. Not this one. This one makes me cry. I don't think they have the ending for this one. Are you fucking... Oh, no. Here. What is this? Oh, motherfucker. Okay.
Second and the Unfindable? Because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah.
But I guess nah. We'll go with the other one. It's because I don't want to keep like, you almost never know how these go, how long these are gonna go. So I always like to get the full version. So there, you win, cycle. Also, mind you, this is one of those endings that I have nothing against them, but they're like personal bothers for me. The ending is so like happy-ish that it had that kill problem where it would end on something horrible and then it would just be like like remember how cute the ending for this how cute the ending for the second half of Kill la Kill was?
Oh yeah.
And literally, I'll never forget how there's an episode where you could get your heart ripped off and it's like, you're my daughter, and then it's like oh my god.
Dude, I don't know what you mean, but for me, like this ending, if anything, for me, when I first heard it, like I didn't find it as like a happy thing or anything, but I just kind of found like if anything, kind of just like nostalgic. Kind of like one of those like bittersweet memories, if anything, like looking back at kind of looking back at a bittersweet memory.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I first heard this ending.
True, I can see that. So anyway, go Lewis.
So, again, one of these shows where I started reading the manga beforehand just because, again, Lewis would always look at posts and I'd be like, ooh, this looks cool, and like, ooh, this looks interesting, and I'd be like, time to look for the sauce.
Yeah.
And would read it, but then out of nowhere, I would lose contact with it until like later on, like somebody would announce that there was an anime adaptation coming out for it as well. And again, I was one of those people that was really hyped for it when it first came out. I was like, yes, it's getting a show!
And then
found out it was an OVA. Until 2018 happened!
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was what basically just like, well, just like Attack on Titan. We're making more, guys, it's coming!
And I'm really glad the show got adapted and everything as well. Just because, again, like I pretty much picked up where I last dropped off and everything, because the last volume I remember reading about it before I stopped reading the show altogether, just because again, I don't know what happened to the tab.
Yeah.
But the last chapter I remember reading about it as well, like pretty much after they went up to over Selkie's backstory and everything.
Oh.
So quite like pretty much in the middle of the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're saying that when the show ended, they had already caught up to the manga?
No, I'm telling you, like, where I left off in the manga, it was a Silky story, which is like around like 2016 or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was right at the middle of the show.
Yeah, and then by the time the show ended, they said like they were already catching, there were like 2 or 3 chapters behind them where the manga was currently at.
Oh.
So for that, like, I don't even know how far the manga went or everything. So I'm like, oh, was this an original ending or not? I don't know. That's my fault for not catching up to the manga.
It wouldn't be unlike Wit. I mean, Wit did make an original ending to Seraph of the End, if anyone remembers that show.
That show was pretty good, but it's just like, it kind of like got a little boring afterwards.
Yeah, it got like super freaking political in the second season, and I'm like, the guy's not really good at this.
Yep. No, yeah. And then one of the things it was funny because one of the things that people kept saying is like, dude, it's like Lyndall, is Lyndall like Michaela or something from Seraph of the End? Like that guy looks exactly like Michaela when he became a vampire.
Yeah.
Especially because he has the dragon eyes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I really liked about the show again is like magical creatures and everything. There's the magic sense and all that stuff as well. There's the laws and everything. Consistent world building. And now when you played it backwards, that sounded like delightful.
Alright.
It's like
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
And one of the things that really attracted me to this show is like, again, for all you Harry Potter fans and everything, it's in London.
Yeah.
You get to see, what was that one movie that they made with the guy from with the suitcase of monsters?
Oh, Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts, yeah, Fantastic Beasts. It gave me that sort of feel, if anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was definitely Harry Potter-ish. Giga even made a joke about it as a person who grew up in London.
Yes.
Oh, lives in London? No, he lives in Asia, I think, now.
Yeah.
But he was like, it was like Harry Potter, but this is a hidden district that not a lot of people know about. And, so it's literally like only they know how to get there, and in that world that's where fairies run around the most, and there's a few people living in that area, but they are almost completely unaware of the creatures that live there.
Oh yeah.
Except for one episode where a kid gets kidnapped by one.
Oh, Ash and I.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
I know, I don't even know what he was.
It went from, it was, supposedly he was like an ancient fae too, like even...
He was older than Lyndall and Elias.
Yeah, like they even said his kind on, like he was, what I thought was you know that little black thing with the candle?
Yeah.
I took it under the impression that he used to be one of those things.
Oh, Will-O-Wisp?
Yeah, but then he got so ancient that the older he got, the more powerful he did. So that's why he was able to like literally bend reality and do really crazy stuff like that. And it's funny because when the show introduces him, he's kind of comes off as like good but eccentric.
Eccentric and kind of just like a renegade, just kind of like a schemer.
Yeah, and then by the second appearance of him, he kidnaps a kid, and they literally had to play a game to get him and Ainsworth back.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the show, he's a flat out villain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off, my bad.
No, you're good. And again, no, I'm glad you brought it up as well because again, like you get to see like everything as well. Like not everything's benevolent and everything. There's things you gotta watch out for.
Yeah.
There's things that are gonna be like they're fairies. Like there's gonna be all different types of creepy crawlies as well. You're gonna get the good fairies that you hear in fairy tales, and also the bad ones that go bump in the night.
Yeah.
So
and even though it's not look cute, might be dangerous.
Exactly. So it's like it's a bit again. I really love like how diverse the show really got with all the creatures and everything, like how magic works, like the principles behind it and everything, and like how everything, like whether you're a mage, an alchemist / sorcerer, or a witch, like they all have their different processes of like doing magic. Kind of like in Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
How the people in the people in like Europe had like different ways of controlling alchemy compared to like those in like the Far East and like in Asia and everything.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Asia they had a very specific way of doing it.
Yeah. So I really liked about it. I really liked the show as well. Sad as hell, depressing. It was an emotional roller coaster that at one point just kept going downhill, and I didn't even know if there was going to be another climax or not.
Yeah.
So after a while, I pretty much had to like take a break and just like watch some like other videos of like other shows before I could go back to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I had 2 weeks to do this show, and I barely finished it last night because I did get to points where I'm like, I don't want to watch this right now.
No. It just got too heavy at some points.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for me, love the show. Highly recommend you guys watch this.
Boom! Perfect. Did not plan that at all. So, my turn. This is definitely one of those shows I was going to pick up eventually, but just other things got in the way. May have been regular TV, other anime.
Chernobyl.
The disaster of Chernobyl. Yep. No, not like Chernobyl. Like for example, around the time the show came out, I think I was barely catching up. No, one of those Marvel shows came out, like in 2018. But like, you know, moments I could be watching this, I'm watching other stuff. Like around the time, there we go. Around the time this came out, The Dragon Prince came out, and I was watching that. And then other things popped up, and I was rewatching some stuff. So there always something was like coming up that was keeping me from watching this. But I was always going to watch this. So that's why like in the last episode I got really excited because it gave me a reason to watch this and not like give up midway or something like that. It was just like, oh no, I wanna watch this now. So. You know, you basically said a lot of things I thought. I loved the role in this show. It was unique while at the same time not being too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What worked for me the most was the relationship between Kisa and Ainsworth is how it started off as like a father-daughter, and then it went from a mother-son, and eventually you just realize how dangerously parasitic the relationship was between the both of them. Mm-hmm. And I did like that little detail that even though he was, you know, thousands and thousands of years old, he didn't understand certain human emotions, or even like basic concepts. Like one of the more beautiful scenes that really did just hit me was when he's looking at Chisa at the very end of this show and just says, "Are you what beautiful is?" And I'm like, oh my god. It's such a simple line, but oh, fuck, that hurt.
Dude, that was like heartfelt, man.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck. And again, I'm watching this dubbed, which a lot of people are like, you know, a lot of the American people can't grasp the emotion. And I'm like, well, Funimation got lucky with the two people they casted for the two main roles. Because I swear if it was anyone else, even if it was like the LA people here, I have a feeling they probably would have found a way to screw that up or something. So again, it's all about the voice actors nowadays. If they need to have a person that their voice not only works well with the character, but is also just good at acting and not just reading lines off of paper. Mm-hmm. I really loved the side characters here. It was one of those things where, like, the main characters are great, but you had side characters that were equally as interesting, even if they did have varying amounts of appearances or involvement. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like Renfred as much as I did, let alone his little apprentice who had the typical relationship I like in anime where it's very abusive, but like the playful abusive.
Yeah.
But like every time they do something, they just like punch down on their head. But God, that would have been perfect. But I still have things to say. One of the another thing too is I see a lot of characters like Joseph in anime. So when I first saw him, I'm like, oh, okay, they're really going for this type of villain. Okay.
Oh, dude, when you say Joseph, I thought you were going to say Joseph Joestar.
Joseph Joestar, that would have been amazing. No, again, I can't pronounce that guy's name right. But Joseph, the original, I was really not looking forward to him because I'm tired of seeing characters like that in anime, but then they did something so unique and interesting with him that I'm like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. Again, the show does a really good job at subverting expectations. Mm-hmm. And how, the whole point is, the show's called Ancient Magus Guide, but that is not really touched on until both of the characters mature to the point where you can believe it. Mm-hmm. And it is such a sweet moment and such a kind of fulfilling moment because you're watching these characters both at the lowest points, mm-hmm. and then you're watching how they're complimenting the other. Yeah, first you're watching how terrible they are for the other.
The sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then by the end, you're kind of noticing how well they complement each other. How like one is getting something good off the other while giving something good to the same thing. It's a symbiotic relationship, mm-hmm. and. It was a show that, like I said, like you said, it was a roller coaster that would go up, but then keep going down and go up again. Well, almost every episode will have a moment where you're like, God, that was so fucking beautiful. Like, again, the Cat Kingdom, with how that episode ended, was so freaking beautiful and, like, interesting, because I didn't realize that they handled it a different way.
Yeah.
Like, originally it was going to be like, we're going to do it this way, and then at the end, Kisa found a way around it, which was, like, amazing. Overall, I don't know if I'd ever rewatch the show again. But
it really gives you the big think.
Yeah. I'll definitely recommend the show to people and say, definitely check this out, definitely read the manga. I think I can at least bring myself to read the manga because I don't have to worry about any sad music or sound design.
Read it, man. I highly recommend reading the manga as well because that's something I have to catch up to again. Yeah, like, there's some cute moments in there as well that you usually see and everything. Just little tidbits as well that you would catch there. Again, we're not making it to the show just because like they had to work with like limited timing and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely highly recommend it. Other than that, you got anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's it. I got everything out. Alright
then. So then, what were you gonna say? What did you say we're gonna be doing next week?
Well,
or whenever we meet again?
Yeah. When we eventually meet again, the next episode we'll be doing is the Netflix series. I can't stress that enough. The Netflix series Agretzko. And the reason you need to be specific is because there are two versions of this now. There is the original Japanese version that aired in 2016 that is literally just 100 episodes of 1 minute goofy clips. And then the Netflix one is 15 to sometimes 20 minute episodes that is, again, with cute Sanrio looking characters. Sanrio's the company that made Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
And it's basically a comedy, but also focuses on adulting and workplace drama. It's a very mature show for something that doesn't look it.
No, yeah, when you told me about that, I was surprised. I was like, "Ooh, I'm interested in watching this now."
Yeah. So again, tune in for Gretzko. It may be equally, if not more, depressing than this show was because
it hits more close to home.
Yeah, it hit close to home. There were a few times. There was a YouTuber that like did a 50-minute video on it and from the sound of it went through everything. And then with me in season 2 and a little bit in season 1, I was able to relate with some of the things they were going through in that show. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Let's go?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, so anyway.
Updates and everything as well. So, almost there for Crunchyroll Expo, so whoever's going there, we'll see you.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Weeks.
Right now, I'm just like with studio right now, we're like, the Instagram will come.
Yeah.
I promise it's coming.
I'll post my episodes, guys. I'll post stuff, I swear to God. Literally, I'm in the middle of editing one right now.
And then, and as well, for all you, hey, you're finally doing it.
Finally, right?
Hey.
Yeah, I have a few edited. The Aelita ones, I think, is edited. I need to check the files. This one's ready to go. This one, No, that was from last time. No, I already got Genlock out there.
Yeah, and for all you commanders out there who play Azure Lane, I'll be seeing you on August 15th. Because I got a ticket to the USS Iowa!
Yay! Now it's just gonna be people jerking off to ships.
I know. It's gonna be good kind all over again.
I know.
No, because for all of you who are wondering, it's gonna be Azure Lane's 1-year anniversary.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be they're already celebrating the 1-year anniversary, and to celebrate, they were running a Facebook event for all the people who play. Where like only 100 people would get tickets to an anniversary party on the USS Iowa.
Huh.
And I got one.
Awesome.
So my gotcha skills paid off for once.
I cannot wait to hear the stories from that. But yeah, so question: when are we going to leave for Crunchyroll Expo? Is it gonna be the 29th or?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Because if anything, like when I was going when when I decided, because like the one, because like I didn't even put our where is it?
I noticed it.
29. No. What I was gonna say. No, 26.
You want to leave the 26th?
Yeah, that's when it starts the day 0 thing.
Wait. No, I thought it was the 30th to the 1st.
No.
What?
I told you it was a 4-day event.
Oh, fuck. I mean, it should be no problem. Hold up. What? Crunchyroll Expo. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold up. I'm not panicking. You're panicking.
No, 30th is just when Flo performs.
No.
On 27th Friday.
Yeah, look, no. Are we in trouble with the hotel room?
Oh wait, I'm looking at September. No, you're right, 29th. I was looking at September.
Just get the fuck out of me, because I'm like, if that's it, you do realize that we kind of fucked ourselves at the hotel room.
No, I was looking at September.
Okay, so we're leaving the 29th.
Yeah.